Right now, you probably think you'd recognize someone drowning. You'd hear them yell. You'd see them wave their arms. But honestly, you probably wouldn't. Because real drowning is nothing like the movies. There's no splashing, no scream, no thrashing. It's silent. It's still. It's almost invisible. And what your body actually does in those final 90 seconds is far stranger and far calmer than you'd ever expect. Let's start with the silence, because it's the part that kills people. In the movies, a drowning person shouts and flails and grabs attention. In real life, they can't. A drowning brain has exactly one priority: air. Speaking is a luxury it can't afford. You cannot cry for help when you cannot even breathe. So there's no shout, and there's no waving either. When you start to sink, your arms instinctively press down on the water at your sides, trying to push your mouth back above the surface. You physically can't lift them to signal. A water safety expert named Francesco studied this and gave it a name: the instinctive drowning response. A person in real trouble stays upright, mouth bobbing at the waterline, head tipped back, eyes empty. From a distance, they can almost look like they're playing, and they have 20 to 60 seconds before they slip under. That's it. To understand how invisible this is, picture a crowded pool on a summer afternoon. 30 people in the water, a lifeguard watching, parents just a few feet away, and a child begins to drown right in the middle of all of them. She doesn't scream because she can't. She doesn't splash because her arms are busy pressing down just to lift her mouth to the air. Her head tilts back, her mouth opens and closes at the waterline, and to everyone around her she looks like she's treading water or playing a quiet game. This exact scene has happened more times than anyone can count. People drown in silence, surrounded by people, simply because no one knew what drowning actually looks like. So, what does that final minute feel like from the inside? It starts with a single held breath. When your face goes under, you hold it automatically, and at first, you're fine. But the desperate urge to breathe that follows isn't actually about a lack of oxygen, it's about carbon dioxide. As CO2 floods your blood, it triggers an alarm so overwhelming it hijacks everything else. Scientists call it the breakpoint, and no amount of willpower holds it back forever. Most people reach it within 30 to 90 seconds. Then your body does the one thing it must not do. It takes a breath. Underwater. But here's something strange. The instant water touches the back of your throat, your body slams a door shut. Your vocal cords clamp together in a reflex called a laryngospasm, sealing the airway to keep the water out. For a brief window, almost nothing reaches your lungs. Your body is, quite literally, trying to protect you from yourself. But that door can't hold. As oxygen keeps falling, the muscles give out, the spasm releases, and water finally floods into the lungs, wrecking the delicate machinery that pulls oxygen into your blood. From here, the clock speeds up. With oxygen no longer reaching the blood, the body begins shutting down its most demanding systems first. Within seconds to a couple of minutes, consciousness slips away. The struggling stops. And to anyone watching, the person finally goes still, a stillness that's often mistaken for calm or even rest. Underneath, the heart slows, then begins to falter. Doctors know that once the brain is truly starved of oxygen, permanent damage sets in within only 4 to 6 minutes. It is a shockingly short window, which is exactly why the silent seconds before it, the ones nobody noticed, matter more than almost anything that comes after. And this is the part almost nobody talks about. You'd expect the ending to be pure terror. For many people, it isn't. Survivors pulled back from the edge describe something they can barely put into words, that after the first wave of panic breaks, it's replaced by a deep, spreading calm, a warmth, a stillness. Some call it peaceful. Some say the fear simply melted away. A few describe the water going warm, the noise fading, the fight quietly turning into a feeling of floating. Part of that is a brain running low on oxygen, but part of it is something far older. You carry a reflex buried in your body, inherited from ancestors that came from the sea, and it wakes the instant cold water hits your face. It's called the mammalian dive reflex, and it does three remarkable things at once. The moment your face goes into cold water, your heart rate drops, sometimes dramatically. The blood vessels in your arms and legs squeeze shut, pulling blood away from your limbs and into your core, guarding your heart and your brain. Your body becomes a life support system built to run on almost nothing. And in cold water, this reflex is so powerful it has produced some of the most astonishing survival stories in all of medicine. Children have been pulled from freezing lakes after 30 minutes underwater with no pulse and brought all the way back, their brains fully intact. There's a phrase doctors use for these cases. You're not dead until you're warm and dead. The cold that should have killed them is the very thing that saved them, slowing their bodies enough to outlast the loss of air. So here is the full picture of what drowning actually is. Not a loud, thrashing fight, but a silent one. A held breath, a rising alarm, a door slamming shut in the throat, and then, for many, a strange quiet calm as the body slips into a state older than humanity itself. It is one of the most common accidental deaths on Earth, and one of the least understood. Every year, more than 300,000 people drown, and a huge number of them do it within arm's reach of someone who never realized it was happening. That's the part that should stay with you. Drowning doesn't announce itself. It doesn't look like the movies. It looks like someone gone quiet in the water, head low, eyes far away, not making a sound. So here is what to actually look for, because it can save a life. Their head is low in the water, mouth right at the surface. Their head is tipped back, mouth open. Their eyes are glassy and empty, or closed, and they're upright, not kicking, not moving anywhere, quietly struggling in place. Remember, a truly drowning person almost never waves and almost never shouts. So if someone in the water suddenly looks too still, too quiet, don't wait until you're sure. Ask if they're okay. If they can't answer you, you may only have seconds. The next time you're at a pool or a lake or the ocean and someone you love is in the water, remember that the real danger rarely screams. It whispers. The most important thing you can do isn't knowing how to swim. It's knowing how to look, because the person slipping under may not be able to call your name, but if you know what to watch for, you'll already be moving before they even needed to. Thanks for watching the Unspoken channel. If you enjoyed this content, feel free to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Until next time.